This is RFC Monkey back again after a quite long hiatus. I have not had a chance to play as much Birds of Steel as I used to. I'm living in the West Coast now, and I typically can only get on late on a Friday or Saturday night. And all of my East Coast friends, by the time I get on, it's 2 or 3 in the morning for them. So rooms have been fairly empty. I've also lately been flying a little bit offline just to get back in practice. And this week I decided to fly in a Spitfire in one of the missions where you have to defend Dover from an oncoming German attack. This is a tough mission. You're flying a Spitfire Mark I, and you and your wingmen have to first navigate from a couple points to a couple points using just your wits of the map, and eventually you'll be able to spot a giant group of Stuka bombers that you have to scare away, and those Stuka are being defended by Bf-110s. So this mission is one where you have to bring the bombers down. It's a kind of a dangerous mission because those Stuka bombers are tough. The armor is really hard to break through, and I think also particularly challenging for me is that I don't know that I'm actually at the right distance to maximize bringing those bombers down. I think since the Spitfires have wing-mounted machine guns, it really is important to get at that distance where all those shells converge. Otherwise, you miss a lot of shots, and those Stukas just don't seem to fall. The key to this mission is bringing down as many Stukas as you can before they reach Dover. Once they reach Dover, then you fail the mission. Since this was an offline mission, I'm flying. Once you get shot down, you get a chance to respawn as one of the wingmen. You have basically 4 lives in this mission. Once all 4 lives are done, the game for you is over. I did not fly this online since there was nobody flying online that night. It's been a while since I've flown. I'm actually pretty rusty, and I think you'll see in this video where I have struggled to light up my shots appropriately. There we go. I've actually overshot the enemy, and for whatever strange reason here, I found myself chasing after the 110s instead of actually the real targets, and that was kind of a mistake. So there's the 110 there. I think I realized at this point that those aren't the ones I want to hit. I really need to be going after the bombers, who are all flying in a neat line up there. So I left the 110s alone, and then looking back to go after the bombers. Those of you who are wondering about the green in my rear view mirror, that is a game glitch where the rear view mirror does not show what's behind you, so you just have to put up with the annoying green. I did go for a couple of external shots here, and I'll say a quick word about I recorded this. I do run my Xbox 360 through my Xbox One, and so I run my replays on the Xbox 360 through the Xbox One, and then actually I screen my Xbox One to our laptop, and there I'm actually able to record what's going on in the Xbox One, which is really what's going on in Xbox 360, which is how I'm finally able to get nice clear video shots. So here I am flying through the group, and you can see every minor adjustment, just throwing my plane off, and while I'm getting a few hits, I'm not knocking any of those stupid bombers down. I also will make a few errors here, but it's a couple nice action shots, and I clip the tail end of a Stuka bomber, breaking my first plane. So I respawn back in one of my wingmen and try again. You can see there's Dover up in the distance. These bombers are headed towards the radar dishes, and so it is necessary to get them before they actually knock down the radar. Again, you can see I use my rudder there to kind of take the plane a little bit off on the side. Sometimes in this mission, hitting the bombers and getting enough of them smoking is enough to make them become scared and drop their bombs. But mostly, you see a lot of shots are missing. There goes one bomber. He didn't die, but he certainly pulled off the formation, and that's good enough to count for this one to dissuade them from attacking. So, moving up through and trying to get as many hits on these guys as I can. Even if they won't go down, I'm making it so that maybe they'll want to go away. You will notice I'm not sitting behind the bombers. I'm not sort of slowing my speed down. I'm actually trying to run through the group and get as many of them as I can. Of course, the way I've done this, none of them have actually been hit at all, or none of them have gone down at all so far. I've just done a lot of damage, and there you can see that negative G's caused my engine to go out, so I had to restart it. It is important that when I program my controls, I actually hand-programmed an engine restart. That's one of the options you have, but it's not a default setting. So in my specialized Xbox One controller settings, I do program a restart. There goes the bomber right there. Finally, got one. I'm not even sure that I'm the one that got her. If there's another wingman who also hit him, but either way, I'll take the credit for that. So in amongst this Stuka attack, lots of guys to go after, and I'm just trying to bring any of them, a handful of them down. I have flown this mission successfully in the past, but today was not one of those successful ones. I'm pretty sure at this point that I was out of ammo, and there I finally got brought down by the tail gunner of a Stuka, so now I'm on to my third pilot. You can see the parachute from the Stuka bombers that have gone down. There's actually several flights of these guys, and I think I made the mistake also of just sticking with the first flight of the Stuka bombers. The other ones are essentially approaching Dover untouched. I think it's important in this mission to shoot them down and shoot them down as quickly as possible before they can actually reach their target. So I kind of was thinking that I might shoot them from farther away, thinking that might make a difference, because we're actually getting really, really close. Not much time to do a lot of damage to them. And I'm having some trouble there because I got a wingman that keeps flying in between me and the targets. The other risk, of course, since I do fly in sim, is that there's a heavy likelihood. See, I don't see any damage there. There's a heavy likelihood that I'm going to run out of ammo at some point if you just fire blindly. So, in addition to trying to successfully kill the bad guys, you also have to conserve your ammo. Alright, here we are getting dangerously close, and the flak's going off, so I'm just trying to cause as much damage as possible for the end. You can see the tail gunner there working on. So this flight seems to have turned away, which is good. The first flight of Stuka bombers seems to have mostly turned away, which is good. And for whatever bad reason, here I am chasing after them again. I think desperate to get a kill. But it doesn't matter because I had forgotten that there were other flights that you have to go after, and they're also rapidly approaching the radar. So it's just kind of a waste of my time to be chasing these guys who were successfully turned away. I should have turned my attention elsewhere. And here a wingman jumps in my way, and I actually might have been the one that shot that poor guy down, but I'll pretend like that was one of the Stuka bombers that got him and not me. Always be aware of who you're flying in front of, especially if you're an AI plane, because I don't really care about shooting AI planes as much. So again, I'm chasing these Germans away from where I should be, forgetting that there's an entire flight of Stuka bombers that are approaching, so at this point I wing off and attempt to turn around and go after the rest of them. I think I had run out of ammo also, maybe, so I switched planes again to the last of my planes, hoping that I could maybe head off one of the last flights there. You can see there are planes still hunting to try to find the bad guys. You can see there are planes up above, and there are Stukas that are going down. There goes that untouched next flight of Stuka bombers, and at this point they're already right on top of Dover, so there's not much to do. My engine goes off, so I have to restart it and start firing desperately from a distance, hoping to hit a few of those bombers. Even though I failed the mission, I did kind of fail it in a spectacular fashion. It gets really exciting here in a moment where... Oh no, one more plane down. Maybe I have a fifth plane in here. Oh, there is a fifth plane. Okay, so I guess I did have a fifth plane in here, and now I'm even worse off because those bombers are even closer to where they're trying to get to. And I'm still playing catch up. In a moment, you'll see these bombers all begin to nose down once they reach the radar station. As they begin to actually dive in. There's way too many of them for me to stop. At this point, there's not a whole lot that I could do to successfully dissuade them from the attack. They're beginning their descent run onto the radar stations, and I'm having to drop after them, firing on them as they drop. You can see there they are, dropping down. There's a moment coming up here where two of the bombers try to occupy the same space. And they collide, but bombs are... There we go. The bombs are falling. These guys have already dropped their bombs, and so whatever I do now is kind of useless because the bombs have already hit the radar station. It's already been taken out. Dover is now vulnerable, and all I can do is go in for a revenge kill if I can find one. So got a few hits, I hope, on that plane, but still not enough. I think it was too close and most of my shots went around the plane instead of into it. One or two more chances to go after these guys. More hits, but certainly not enough to bring anybody down. I've dropped my throttle there to try to stay behind him a little bit. Lots of firing, not even any smoke on that plane, so really poor shooting, poor judge of distances. As I rock my plane side to side and fire at an angle, most of those shots are not converging on the enemy. It really is overall just bad flying. Maybe it'll give me inspiration to try this mission again and see if I can't bring anybody else down. But in the end, that was the flight. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much.